Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Skyrim Special Edition. So, one of the things I've realized is under this general stats, there's no real counter for how many hours you've actually played. So the only way I can generally guess that is by the number of hours that the program has been running through Steam, which says 108. And I think that's probably a little high. I bet we're somewhere around 100 hours, but I bet we're not at 108. Of course, that doesn't really mean much here. I also realized you have to have a Bethesda login to use mods, and that seems crazy. At least internally, maybe there's some other way you could install mods externally. I don't know. But anyways, we were investigating this magical house as we're still trying to wait for the assassins, the Dark Brotherhood, to figure out to invite us into their group. So we're gonna activate this child's coffin, which first interaction with a coffin in the entire game.
You found me! Layla was trying to find me too, but I'm glad you found me first. Layla was told to burn Mommy and me, but she didn't want to. She wanted to play with me forever and ever.
Where is she?
She kissed me on the neck, and I got so cold that the fire didn't even hurt. Layla thought she could take me and keep me, but she can't. I'm all burned up. I'm tired. I'm gonna sleep for a while now.
Like, come on, game. You're really just gonna have voice acting with no action?
Layla, she's dead. Ysmir's beard. She's a vampire.
So, did we kill her? Like, Layla was a vampire? And is this the father?
She's dead. Layla is dead.
What can you tell me about your wife?
Layla, I thought she left to join the Stormcloaks. Oh, my poor Layla.
Did you notice anything strange before she left?
She began to spend a lot of time with Alva. Yet just a week before, she despised her. In fact, the night she disappeared, she was supposed to meet Alva. Alva told me later that she never showed up. I never got to tell her goodbye.
I think they may have met after all.
You think Alva? But that means... Ye gods! You think Alva is a vampire?
It's a possibility we can't ignore, I guess.
No, you're wrong. You must be wrong. Layla may have met her fate out in the marsh. I refuse to believe Alva had anything to do with this. There is no way you can prove it to the Jarl.
So, let's go investigate Alva's house.
I hope Alva is not what you think.
So we gotta find her house and find evidence of vampirism, which is rampant in this game. It happens too much, really, because there's this lack of fantasy these days. Probably not 5 years ago when Skyrim first came out, but nowadays it's just, oh yeah, zombies, oh yeah, vampires, oh yeah, this, ghosts and goblins. And ghosts themselves aren't overused as a trope too much in video games because it's kind of difficult to do anything with them. Here's her house. But there's certainly zombies and vampires, although even vampires are kind of done a little less than you would realize. There's still several games that have attempted to do Vampire the Masquerade, which is LARPing, live action role playing, in video game form. Nothing recently. she attacked me first. So our house, vampire dust, gold. And this guy's dead too. That was messy. And
Hey.
who's saying hey? Him? Why is he saying hey? It is nice to not have to deal with the Fallout 4 like weirdness of your companion looking down upon you for stealing things or doing something they don't approve of. It's also very nice that that you don't end up with having only one actually worthwhile companion in the entire game, which is what I kind of have heard Fallout 4 is. But even with all that, though, I still kind of want to play Fallout 4 because there's a comedy there in the Fallout series that's totally missing here. And there's actually some RPG elements in Fallout that are still there, still in the game, that have been stripped out of Skyrim, and certainly they've been reduced in Fallout 4 compared to previous Fallout games. Like, we have no intelligence stats that we can even see in this game. They exist in some increment, certainly in the back of the game, in the same way that we have strength stats and well, let's see, in Fallout it's called your smart, isn't it? Strength. No, it's not called smart, is it? That what is it? What are the characteristics? Here's a coffin. Alva's journal. So we've already taken care of her as a vampire. And we killed somebody, which I'm sure she's not going to be super happy about that. But seems like I can just take whatever I want now. From the bodies, at least. But those RPG elements that are missing in Skyrim, and probably will be missing in the next Elder Scrolls game, takes it further and further away from being a real RPG, and it makes it more of a single player thing, which is what I've actually asked for. It's what I would like more, but I kind of like the RPG elements in theory and not in actual practicality, because it's just more numbers to deal with, and we still got a ridiculous amount of numbers. Instead of having intelligence, we have intelligence is broken down sort of into 4 different abilities for different kinds of spells. Instead of having strength control whether you can smith something, we have a smithing, or strength control the amount of heavy armor you can wear. It's by a skill point. Most RPGs, you would have a weight on your heavy armor, and you would just be able to wear. You wouldn't be able to wear it at all until your strength was a certain level. Here, it's just the stamina. So instead of having like 12 things that you might see in Dark Souls, I guess Dark Souls is now potentially one of the few games where you can still manipulate those elements. Here in this game, it's just magicka, health, and stamina, down the 3, and there's no way to increase your intelligence, so there's no real way to increase your leveling up other than actually interacting through multitude of systems or having blessings at the standing stones. Let's finish this.
Tamriel is full of wisdom and madness. Is Hrogar innocent or not?
Well, he's dead, so it doesn't really matter. I have Alva's journal.
So it's true, the traitorous bitch. Morthal owes you a debt. Here, you were promised a reward for solving the crime, but I need one more favor from you. Morthal is still in danger. The journal mentions Movarth, a master vampire I thought was destroyed a century ago. I'll gather together some able-bodied warriors to clean out Movarth's lair. They'll be waiting outside for you to lead them.
And see, we don't even have a...
Till next time.
I mean, we could ask about where you stand on the war
God might
if
be
we
nervous.
want. But I'm not to that
Please,
point.
hey, take us to Movarth's lair. Take
Yes.
us. Yeah.
Which way is it?
Kill the vampire.
Let's go kill the vampire. I guess it doesn't matter. They're
Kill
all
him.
the same ways. And are all these people running with me? Good. Although, probably gonna get them all killed, if I was to guess. And after we do this quest, we kind of have to do the next storyline quest. We don't really have a choice. And I guess that's acceptable. Here's Movarth's lair. We walked by here, I believe, earlier. Another element that has occurred to me is we've found a lot of books. I'm gonna do all the work. I don't think anybody else is even gonna show up, which is fine. More experience for me. But yeah, we've seen a lot of books. And each of those books has had a somewhere between 3 and 5 pages of text on them. I kind of have to wonder how much of that lore, how much of that effort was misplaced. Like, if they just simply said no books at all, or if they had done the comic books that were in Fallout 4 instead, which I think are just maybe 1 or 2 pictures, although arguing whether a page of text or a page of comic art is difficult to make. It's difficult to figure out which one actually takes more effort, and it probably takes more effort to draw a comic book page than it does to write a story. But I think if they just maybe did a cover, hired an outside company to do a cover of their books, and then just put it in a false language where the player couldn't read it and there's no actual text there, they probably could help the game more by simply spending that same effort to write those stories, to actually have the stories be spoken or in some other way integrated actually into the gameplay, instead of just being this almost completely different section. Here we've got a bunch of dead bodies on carts. And then I've been watching more mods of Skyrim and Skyrim Remastered. The remastered mods are coming along slowly but surely now, and I've noticed that several of them add houses that have saunas. Again, with the whole Viking thing in this area being super cold, it's kind of shocking omission to not have saunas happen. Like
Let me just take this coin
hot
purse off
springs
your
or
hands
something.
for you. And those nice boots you got there.
Where are they?
Now, you just stay here with all your friends, and I'm gonna go get my shovel.
And there's certainly ways you could have a saunas in this game without it just immediately reverting to nudity. You could have hot springs at the very least. There seems to be actually no volcanic activity in Skyrim at all. That seems almost like it's an intentional omission. And with no volcanic activity of some sort, you can't have hot springs. But it also kind of means that the area of Skyrim would be almost a lot more difficult to harvest food in, and then it kind of gets down to why you'd even live in the area. So we've got a Nord, a Red Guard, another Nord, another Nord. So 4 bodies here. Seems like we're getting a nice collection of clothes. So I don't know why I'd want to collect those clothes though. It's not like I could probably go to any store, shopkeep, and buy a set of the non-armored clothing. And it doesn't add anything to anything. Iron ore vein. Do I actually need to mine iron ore? No. Alright. So there's 2 people at the table. Here's our target. I'm missing. There's still a guy here.
What was that? Time to end this little game.
What's funny is I'm slowly falling here. So was there something more up there? I'll have to maybe investigate that. I'm also a little interested to see if I have more reason. Coin purse, stone, gold. Trying to hold A button to pick up more gold, but it's not happening. An ebony arrow is probably worth more of my time than running around picking up these tiny amounts of gold on the ground. Gold lockpick vampire dust. This of destruction. Take that ebony arrow. And this chair is still it's still glowing from my being hit. I mean, this is just a ridiculous ability or glitch in the game. I'm not sure which one you'd even call it. It seems ridiculously silly that you would. Let's see if she's.
What was that?
So these guys aren't cured. I'll take one of these and I don't think I even have like a quill and an inkwell. Does that really do anything? I don't think it does. Sea Ghost. The Oblivion Crisis. Yeah, I'm trying to think what Bethesda's messages, what they'll get from Skyrim Remastered versus what they'll get from Fallout 4. I think both games suffer horribly unless you have mods on them. I think both games go in different directions. One, Fallout 4, you choose your character, but you're sort of the same character no matter what. You're always looking for your child. There's no way away from that. Much in the same way, in this game you are always started off as a prisoner, and you're it's up to you whether you what species you are, but you'll be a dragonborn no matter what. Am I grabbing too much stuff? Probably fine to grab a bunch of stuff. I think I just cleaned up. I need to find more gold though. Let's see this. I'm not sure what circles we're going in. This is where we were before. So this is a return path. So let's run this way and see what's up here. And then there's also something back there, I believe. And it may be that it just curves around this section. And yes, I can level up. Yeah, so I have no clue what Bethesda takes from it. I have no clue if the next Skyrim or the next Fallout has you as a specific character or just random characters. I think the MMO is a big part of their focus still. Good thing I killed that one quick, because that one seemed like it might do some massive damage to me. Shoes, hide boots, Stormcloak officer boots, Imperial light boots. Here, I'll take this one and this one. If you ever wanted one of every boot, I suppose this is where you go. Morthos boots. So that vampire is obsessed with boots, apparently. That's a strange turn of events, but whatever. Yes, and this does just curve back around here, which means I can just run this way. Where was all that help I was gonna get? Huh? This is like the perfect quest to end up if you just wanted a bunch of clothing. Why you'd want a bunch of clothing, I don't know. Because it's not armor, it's just decorative. It feels like, again, this might be a good quest to play at the very beginning. Here's the little girl. I can't go any faster.
Mother's calling me. It's time for me to sleep now. I'm so tired. Thank you for making her feel better.
So I say I've avenged you and your mother, and that's it. And these other guys. Now what do I do on the quests? Return to the Jarl. These guys are useless. Am I going the right direction? I think yes I am. See, I just don't think you can make an open world character, a random character, and then have some kind of spider web system that pushes you into getting all the quests. I just don't think that works on modern games, because what you're effectively saying is that at the very beginning of the game, you're not going to write any characterization or story for the person you're playing as. So the only reason I even like the main character is because I invested my own mental imagination into creating that character. Like, when I look at this character, why would I like this character? Particularly at the beginning of the game. We've done nothing. We know nothing about this character. Why would I like it? There's no backstory to this character besides the stuff I make up in my own head, which the game doesn't even really encourage that too much. So I really have given zero thought about this character. And so has Bethesda. And that's just bad storytelling.
Well, look at you. If only everyone acted like you did. Tamriel is full of wisdom and magic, if one is willing to look for it.
Master
Why,
guy's
I
dead.
didn't think he could do it. Now maybe we can put all this behind us. Take this as a token of our gratitude.
So, laid to rest is done.
All right then.
And then let's see.
You will not disrespect Jarl Idgrod while in this hall. Do we have an understanding?
We certainly do. Why would I disrespect her?
Then by all means, go about your business. All right then.
And that's all he says? Interesting. I thought he might sell me a house or something, but
Hey.
it feels like...
If you've been, I do what I can to see that it
here's a house.
isn't wasted, and that she only has to deal with important matters. There aren't any houses for sale in Morthal, but if you're interested, I could sell you land in the hold where you could build your own house.
So, yes, I'll take it.
Excellent. We're glad to have you as a landowner in Hjalmarch. Here's the title to your steading. If you don't mind getting your feet wet, your best bet is to head north past the mill. The odd tomb or two along the way won't bother you. The land is on the coast, across from the Karth Delta from Solitude. An inspiring location, as you'll see.
Let's see.
Until next time. Fear for the boy, eh?
Okay, so we need to level up. We spent 5,000. Let's talk to
Be a lot warmer and
our
a lot
character.
happier.
I'm
still here.
Really full of need.
I'll show you what I can about protecting yourself.
Alright. So level up. More stamina. Still. Health is a slight issue, but not really. Heavy armor, I think I probably will need to get better at that at a certain point. Smithing. I'm at level 100 smithing, so making dragon armor is not a terrible idea, but if I made it right now, I wouldn't really be very good at using it. It would be very, very heavy items that would take up more of our space. Investor fence. Let's see, what was the one we saw that, and then master trader. I think investor is going to be our pick here. There's no reason I'd really want this. We're still only at level 55 on light armor. archery can only get us this. So even our archery is slowly, very, very slowly lining up. I can't believe our block made it to 75, but that was 75 levels that were almost 100% achieved through training. So speech is what I think we'll start doing, because we figured out a trick there. So anytime I find a shopkeeper now, we will do that. We also need to look at the map, and let's see. Is there a miscellaneous? Visit your new property in Homo. Hold. Where is it? Let's see. He said it was just above Solitude. Really? Why don't I see it? Is it hidden behind something, or maybe I have to build it? So what does the map tell us? We've got one arrow this way, and well, I suppose since I can't find where my house is, I'll have to deal with that later.
I'll show you what I can about protecting yourself. What do you need to take? Let's go.
So we're trying to reach level 50. We're gonna do the Horn of Windcaller, and then I imagine we'll run around after we do that level, which is probably gonna take at least one whole episode, or most of one episodes. Maybe better to say it's probably gonna take at least an hour. Whether that's split between 2 episodes or not. We have a swamp section in Witcher 3 that the swamp in that game actually was such a scary and dangerous place to be when I started, that I stayed away from it for the rest of the game. Here, I don't think we're gonna have that same issue. Like, I'm too overpowered in this game, even though we on random crazy instances run into a few characters that are really stronger than me. Most of the time I'm so overpowered that it's not an issue at all. Let's see, seems like there's... Where is it? Got several bandits here.
Thank
Somebody, did they just say thank you? That would be strange. That would be really strange if one of the characters just said thank you, but he was a necromancer, so it wouldn't surprise me a ton if that's actually the case. And man, if I could just take firewood, or I could take buckets and things and turn it into firewood, that would be interesting too. Collect these butterflies. Like, this is the way down. So bandit. So am I expecting a lot of resistance in this? Not really. This is probably, since this is the first, like, well, the next part on the main story, it's not really the first. It's probably somewhere around the 5th or 2nd. We could probably find out, couldn't we? If we go down to quests and main quest completed, it's probably number 6 right here. So this isn't going to be really long or really difficult. The characters will be leveled up, and we'll have some more story in this than we normally do by a small amount. But I think pretty much everything else is done. I also want to go to that river world and get that other claw, just so I have a full collection of all the claw keys. So I may have to go steal it.
These thralls of yours are slower than Argonian. A blizzard.
Feel free to grab a pick and help them out. I prefer not to sully myself with manual labor.
I think I see 2 of them.
Another
And a conversation. He moved. So it's kind of funny that you can get the kill cam and still miss. You think it wouldn't work that way? Or you'll miss and you'll hit something behind him that you didn't even know was there. There is a mod for Skyrim that will allow you to adjust some of the factors on kill cams, so you could like have 100% chance of decapitation if you're using a weapon that would decapitate. I don't think a bow particularly would count, although I'm not sure. Maybe you can totally mod it so it works that way. And you can have it where it only does a kill cam on the last enemy, which is the right way for it to happen, and it doesn't happen in this game like that. It does randomly choose when the kill cams are going to happen, so you can fight 5 guys right next to each other and get a kill cam on 3 or 4 of them. Isn't there more to the story here? Did I miss something? Like, it's telling me to go that way. Did I enter a cave that I didn't need to, or? Let's see. Retrieve the horn of Jorgen Windcaller. And this cave is It must be down here. I was thinking to myself, yeah, there's no other way this happens. There's no shout or anything that would open a doorway. Just waiting for him to walk this way. Seems like a lot of people have tried to get this far and have failed miserably. A lot of conjurers in particular. Of course, I show up and then it's just easy peasy. This, of course, is because I've run around and done all the side quests, but that's also kind of what the game encouraged us to do. There isn't an incredibly high risk of missing something or not being able to do some of the side quests after you've done the main quest. In fact, the game is totally continuable, and after you play the main game, it's just you're not given that guarantee, and you kind of need the game to swear that nothing is missable at all once you finish the main quest. So you should do the main quest first, because if even one or two things is missable, that's often one or two things too many for most players, because they want to get the most out of their game. I am, of course, approaching this game like a standard video game, when I probably should approach it more along the lines of a massive MMO style game. Something that you just can by default know and assume won't include or won't need nor will you want to play all of the elements in. Still very much playing OCD, buying lots of things, although there's now reasons to buy lots of things because I figured out how to buy and sell and lose a lot of money again. It took several hours to figure out a system, but I figured it out. So nothing in here. At level 50, I'm getting like 13 gold when I used to get maybe 2 or 3 gold. That's not a great improvement, really. But the difference, I think, is the game actually limits the amount of gold you can get in any one find to a really small number. And instead, it starts giving you jewelry and items that you would have to sell. And I have absolutely noticed that has significantly increased in odds. Potion of health. A restoration book. Nice. Still worth it to run around and make sure. I think it is. So this is the next part. That looks like a final area. So let's go check this area first. And there's no switch or chain. This is strange because there's a lever on the other side too. Interesting. So we'll come back, we'll probably exit through that. Where are you? You just run into this problem, though, of it's boring to fight these guys over and over again, but it's also boring to not fight them, because then the game has no action in it at all. And I just don't know what solution you can put out there. I think what most games would do is they would let you get bored by killing the same guys over and over again. I'm thinking particularly like the Lego style of games where it's just the same respawning enemy almost non-stop in most of their games, although a couple of them they had like no bad guys at all, and that was shocking. Entire levels where you wouldn't fight anybody. But I think, yeah, most games would just have a constant flow. Every room you walk around, every corner, everything, there would just be another skeleton that would be so weak, or there is, I suppose, a considerable lack of skeletons in this game. The actual skeletons, not joggers. I wonder if that's intentional or what. But yeah, if that was constantly happening, then that would just be part of the gameplay loop, and I think players would get used to it and be happy with it. More than the...
That's... wow.
I guess that's kind of impressive, yeah. There's a very generic statement there that I bet they don't use it too often. But let's see. I'm kind of only even bothering to search these guys for my arrows back. And see, this is where we were. Always crawling, always sneaking, always trying to get that sneak level up. So if I sit here and take damage, will this increase my armor? No, it doesn't even seem like it hurts me fast enough. It's probably doing such an insignificant amount of damage there that it wouldn't matter one way or the other. I've really got to figure out something. And I'm not sure if your armor goes up by the amount of damage it blocks, so I need to fight somebody real strong, or if it's just the number of times you block, so I could fight somebody weak and let them sit there and hit on me. I would imagine by default I'd want them to be weak and just pound on my armor over and over again so I could get some expertise on this. And I suppose the game is missing like a training area where you could just go and train against somebody and have them attack you, and you could, like, instead of trying to grind out skill sets that you won't naturally level up in a normal gameplay. Like, I don't feel like I'm a great player. I'm playing this on easy, and I was dying like really badly when we first started on medium. I probably would be fine on medium now, but I have no reason to change it. So because I don't feel like I'm a great player, I still don't think I'm getting hit enough that I would level up the armor. The armor is really, really low. And to compound that issue, when I do get hit by an enemy, they are almost always a super overpowered enemy that then just turns around and kills me on the first blow. Let's see. So, is there something down here before I leave? These potions of minor healing aren't actually worth anything, are they? Maybe that's part of my problem, is I keep picking up and holding on to cheap items, and that's why I'm not finding more jewelry or expensive weapons. I'd much prefer having just one set of ebony armor show up versus 100 potions of minor healing. Back over here. Actually, we're not back anywhere. For a second there, it looked like that wasn't going to explode. Was there some trick here? Not really. You just had to find the chain. Interesting. Like soul gem. Alterations. Do I have anything to disenchant? Almost certainly not. I wish there was more of those disenchant stations. In fact, honestly, they should have just given us the ability to disenchant things by default. That would be the number one thing I would add if I wasn't going to change anything in the next Elder Scrolls game. I would say you have a disenchanting ability and a breaking down of elements ability. So all these wooden plates and stuff will not get rid of them. Instead, we'll have you break them down into their core components of maybe not gold, but wood and such. Wood, iron, small amounts of those things. And then you could go sell those items for gold at the store. And maybe even go as far as having the companion take your items back and sell them, but maybe only limit him to selling core components for a lot less profit than selling a final product. So therefore it wouldn't be as smart of a move to break down a set of ebony armor and get little chunks of ebony. Instead, you just hold on to it and sell it, you'd make more money. That was the skeleton. Let's see, is this? I don't know if there's something over there or not. It's too far away. Here's one. Where's the flame coming from? I think we killed a skeleton there. Yeah, a couple skeletons here have fallen on the booby traps themselves. Interesting. I think the horn is over there. And these skeletons just get flung everywhere, so... They're super easy to kill. It's more example of why they should be running around all over the game. If I was killing 100 skeletons in every cave, and it was just the known way of how things are gonna work, that would be totally acceptable. There we go. So we've got a couple of things here. Let's see. This way. Flawless garnets. Petty soul gems. Just looking all around here. Ruby. Alright. Let's see, how could I get into this area? See, the thing is, even when you crouch down, it doesn't seem like that actually makes it any easier to get into any area. And I seriously doubt they intended for me to glitch into that. So I'll leave that alone. And this way. We've got another room. So we've got a bit of a puzzle here. I'm not sure it's too much though. It's probably just... Oh. I bet I know exactly what this is. When we started the main quest a long time ago, we had this shout of whirlwind spirit, and that's what they intend us to use.
Woo!
So far, that's not gonna work. So maybe I need the freeze time ability? Well, I also have that, but I'm pretty sure that that one didn't unlock. Maybe I need to unlock the second tier of Whirlwind Spirit. Is that how those things work? Yes, it is. Darn it. Did not realize that. So I need to kill more dragons. More dragons are on the chopping block, I suppose. Right.
What's the hurry?
No. Alright. Yeah, there's no way I'm getting that. Ooh. That would turn out to be an interesting turn of events. We've never seen in Skyrim, nor do I recall ever experiencing Skyrim, a area where I could not reach my goal at all, just because of a lack of shouts. In fact, there's been no place that we've even been slightly hindered by a lack of shouts. This will teach us something new. Fade, become ethereal. Any booby trap on this chest? Nope. Banded iron armor. Elven sword. Taking garbage now. Is there a way up on this? Is there a way down in the water? No. Very sharp angle here to get up to this section. Grunder more. Let's mine that. If not for the ore, for the firewood. How many arrows is too many arrows, I wonder? I'm carrying too much.
What is it? What do you need to take?
There you go. You start holding some stuff. I want to keep that Nordic sword, I think. That might be an interesting one. Boots. Ooh, I want to get rid of all this wolf stuff, put that in our collection too. Do I have any miscellaneous things? Give him the ore. Dragon scales. Some metal ingots. An emerald. Empty wine bottle. There we go. Now he's full.
Lead on then.
That'll leave me nicely not full. But there's no way I'm gonna... Like, I'm getting the final thing here. But unless there's a dragon soul in the... Like, in that item, I don't have a dragon soul. Like, I don't even think you can have a dragon soul in your soul gems. So it puts the whole game in this weird, like, unless I go back up and I'm attacked by a dragon and it's pre-programmed, what am I supposed to do here? Like, I don't have potions of slow time or anything like that. I have an idea. I suppose there is one item you could do here. Wait for my companion. Tell him to go over there. Let's see.
I'm still here. Fine. What? What?
Wait there.
Still have something you need? Let's get going. Fine. What? What? Will do.
Nope, doesn't work.
Still have something you need? We've stopped. What is it? Lead on then.
And as far as potions, like, let's see, potion of slow. There's nothing like that. And if I shoot an arrow, it does nothing. It looks like there is a chain here. So maybe if I could get just the first one done. But do I have enough time? It doesn't feel like I do. And it's telling me the horn is right back there. And there's not some kind of trick to this. Like, not a body I could pick up and drop. Or something along that line. Let's go. Wow. And it just opened automatically for him.
Get ready for a fight.
Interesting. Unfortunately, that's where we have to end this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All of that helps out. If you want to support me further, go to my main YouTube page. On the right is a blue button that says support this channel. And if you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.